Hey, welcome back to Monday in 5 Minutes with KeRusso. This is the day we walk through the book of the Bible. We're walking through Philippians right now. I hope you're enjoying this letter. We're about to move on to another book. I've got a few more videos I want to share with you on this letter. But you feel free to stick with Philippians longer if you want to. I encourage you to, as a matter of fact, because there's more to discover, more joy to experience. And the more you gain, the more you experience, the more you have to share with other people. And I hope you are sharing with other people what you're learning as you go through the Bible. That gives you even more joy. I want to share with you in this video a particular dynamic that plays out all through this letter of Philippians. And basically it's this idea that disciples of Jesus are going through an upside down life. But they're able to do that because they know that one day things are going to be turned right side up for them. You look in chapter 1, for instance, in Philippians, Paul, who loves the Philippians and those people and cares deeply for them, has shared the gospel with them, finds himself in prison. There are other people out there, some jokers that are preaching about Jesus Christ, even there in Philippi, who are flourishing. And they're gaining a lot of things that you think, well, Paul should be getting that kind of treatment, but they're getting it. And the deal is they don't really care about the Philippians. They just care about themselves. Well, Paul's in prison and they're free. That's kind of upside down. It seems like it ought to be the other way around, but it isn't. You get in chapter 2, and Paul talks about how Jesus' life was upside down. You know, here he is. He's up in heaven at the right hand of God, and he has to come down and live as a person, a poor person. And even though there's nobody better who's been more good than him, he gets treated as a criminal and gets crucified. He goes to this horrific death. His life just got turned upside down. But again, Paul knows, and he refers to how it gets turned right side up because God raises Jesus up from the dead and exalts him to the right hand of God. And everybody is going to acknowledge Jesus Christ as the Son of God one day. It doesn't seem that way right now, but one day it's going to happen. An upside down world is going to be turned right side up. And Paul comes back to his own life in chapter 3. And he refers to some other people along the way, Timothy and Epaphroditus, how they all are going through these upside down experiences, getting treated in ways that they shouldn't be getting treated because they don't deserve it. Whereas there are people out there who are living as enemies of Jesus, are flourishing. And Paul gets to chapter 3 and around verse 15 and following, and he really camps out on this little ideal here because he says to those disciples in Philippi who are going through their own upside down experience, he said, hang in there. Look around you and see the people who are hanging in there, who model this for you so that you can do the same thing. Because here's what you need to understand. And you can read these verses on your own and just kind of summarize it right now. The people who are flourishing right now, who are seeking their self-interest, are going to end up being destroyed. When God turns the upside-down world right side up, they're going to face destruction. That's not going to be good. Whereas the people in this upside-down world who are going through the suffering are going to experience glory in being lifted up when God turns things right side up again. So that's an encouraging thought for those disciples. Paul wants them to understand you can do this, and it's worth sticking it out because of how things are going to be turned right side up one day. You and I need to understand that is also true for us because we can look around us and we see it's all upside down. You might be going through your own upside down experience, and it might be very painful for you. There are people who are living for Jesus, who are living in the lowliest estates, suffering and even dying for Jesus. But they do that, and they're able to do that because they realize that one day their upside down life is going to be turned right side up. The same is going to be true for you and I. We just need to stick it out. We need to be faithful, and we can do this. I don't know what's going on in your life. There's no way I can know that. I can't see it on the other side of this screen. But I do know that if you live for Jesus, you're going to find you'll have enemies. you're going to find that Satan uses a lot of different forces to beat you down and to turn your life upside down. And it's not going to be fun. But you can live such a life because others have. And you can look around you and you'll see people who are living that kind of a life. And ultimately, we all understand this. This upside down experience that we're going through, even if it's for the duration of our life, is one day going to be turned right side up. That's what God does through Jesus Christ. You are blessed. So hang in there. Be faithful. All right? You can leave a comment or send me an email at booksbyKeRusso@gmail.com. But I'll see you next week. And thank you for spending this 5 minutes with me.